And now to our special series, counting down to Mother's Day. Mom, I love you because, and Tamron, it is your turn to honor your mom.
Yes, I think you guys know I've mentioned it over and over. I talk to my mother all day long, first thing in the morning, countless times during the show, and pretty much all day. And while most of the chats are just to say hello, our heart-to-heart discussions about being resilient in the toughest of times are why I love my mama. We are at my family's home in Texas. My mom and dad, some years ago, came out to this small community and fell in love with this particular piece of land. This home was a dream for all of us. And one thing they always wanted was a vegetable garden.
He wanted tomatoes, he wanted corn, he wanted
Greens, herbs,
peas,
everything.
cucumbers, he wanted everything.
The problem was we had rain that year.
It rained out and he says, Mary, I'm done.
So he was done on the garden.
He was done.
The garden went unplanted, and in 2008, before they could try again, my dad suddenly passed away. I remember this conversation with her one day when I just flat out said, "Are you gonna keep going?" And she looked at me in my mother's way and never said a word, but I knew. I could see that resilient spirit in the middle of all of that heartbreak, that she was here for us. She's taught me to be resilient. She's my inspiration. There isn't a Mother's Day gift big enough to fully thank my mom for all that she's meant. But last year, on Mother's Day, I remembered my parents' unfinished plans.
And the next thing I knew, you had purchased all of this stuff for a garden.
I mean, but did you have high hopes for my garden?
Really?
Yes, come on. Turns out, I'm no gardener. I'm like, what happened to my garden? At some point, something did grow. I don't know to this day what it was, but it was grown with love. Even though my garden failed, I always wanted to have that for her. So this year, I gave it another go. This time with the help of Country Gardens magazine and editor James Baggett.
What your main problem was shade, and that was planted around the roots of these trees.
So I planted in the wrong spot?
It's in the wrong spot, and that's why it failed. We'll find the perfect place for you to have a garden that you can't fail with.
I can't fail garden.
I promise.
You promised.
I promise you'll be having tomatoes and zucchini coming out your ears this summer.
After scouting out a sunnier spot, James and his team went to work, getting their hands dirty, leaving me with some mom time. You are so resilient. You lost your mom when you were how old?
11.
And then Dad has passed away.
I hope that what I instill in you, there's going to be time that you're going to fall. Get yourself up, dust yourself off, and go on. My goal was to have a home, to raise you and your brother, and now I'm raising my grandchildren with the father's help and the mother's. So I'm hoping in the future that they remember me as being a good granny, and you remember me as being a good mother.
And now it was almost time to bring another of my mom's goals to life. Okay, Granny, look. Come on. Really? Look at this.
We have
Tamron,
flowers.
I love you. Oh.
We have 4 tomatoes. We have eggplant. We have hot peppers, sweet peppers, zucchini. We have flowers for you to cut and bring in the house, zinnias and marigolds. And we have more basil. You'll be able to have a pesto party at this house.
Oh, no, I just After my dad passed away, there seemed to be no life. And now she is as bold and beautiful and sassy of a 65-year-old as you could imagine. And that garden to me will represent her new growth, her new happiness, her new green. Okay, so I've got something to show you guys. Take a look. Our first tomato.
All right.
Yes. Made an appearance. I can't thank James and Country Gardens magazine enough for helping me bring life to our garden. And as I said, my mother's story, after losing her mom, losing her dad, losing her husband, the love of her life, she really has fought back through the pain. I think people understand loss, whether it's a parent, a friend, a child in some cases, but you have to find your green, your growth in your heart. And so that's her lesson to me.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Yeah.
Very nice.
beautiful.
Cameron,
Nice
well
garden.
done.
I'll be cooking for you
Yeah.
all.
Yes.
Because she-
We're all splitting one tomato.
Well, my mom
Make
can't
salsa.
cook,
Yeah.
but she can make a salad.
But
so
you
there you
can.
have it.
All right.
All right, Tamara, thank you.